Yeah, I think my waters broke. Let me tell you, when they say when it's almost time, the contractions come back to back and you get like 2 seconds to breathe. There's no 2 seconds. There is no 2 seconds. You're 4 centimeters dilated. You mean to tell me I haven't progressed much from that time with the pain I've been feeling? I felt like my heart was like being ripped out with each contraction. And I'm not even exaggerating. It was so painful. Yeah, let's go to the delivery room now. Start. And I'm like, okay, it's happening finally. But what the hell? When I felt the contraction, I just pushed. Like I was like, this is it now. And it was it. Alhamdulillah. Let's be honest. All of this would not have been possible without Allah. Mothers don't talk enough about feeling their babies inside of them. Like, that was always an incredible feeling. I mean, 2 months of breastfeeding is not something I take lightly. This was always my dream. And if you don't have that support system, honestly speaking, this is exactly why I'm having these conversations. I suffered from major insomnia on my third trimester, especially the last 2 months. I could not sleep. I certainly hope you're not new here, but if you are, kindly hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell button to be notified every single time I upload a video. Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great and in the best of health. As you can see from the title above, today we're here to talk about everything, every single thing, from pregnancy, first trimester to the last, delivery, my birth story, and postpartum, how it's been so far. This video has been so long overdue, but understandably so. Guys, I have a newborn. I've been busy taking care of my baby. But he's getting up. The moment you sit down and you're about to do something is when the babies get up, or when you're about to sleep and catch a nap, catch a snooze when they're napping as well. That's when they get up. There's basically a lot going on, to be honest. Momsy's having a somewhat heated conversation. Baby's about to wake up. I'm feeling hot in this, but we're doing this exactly like this. Let me just laugh, but I think he's back to sleep. And I hope you can't hear my mom, because the kind of phone call she's having, I wouldn't want to be the other person on the other side of the line. Anyways, let's not gossip. Let's get right into it. Once again, welcome back to the Transforming with Tea podcast. I'm your host, Tiffah Labeeb, a girlie who's obsessed with bettering herself and just taking you guys along with me through this thing we call life, sharing my experiences. Yeah, he's up. Just a moment. How is you now, my sweetie? Slept well? Slept well, Baba? We cannot post this part because your whole face will be on the internet. Yeah. No. We don't want them to see you. At least not yet. Maybe someday. Maybe, who knows. But for now, you're my little cutie patootie. Only mine. I'm going to try make this video not super long, but also not so short, so that I don't miss important details. Baby's up now, and he's going to be our audience for today. So let's go. I'm going to start with pregnancy. Yeah, from the first day I found out. So basically, obviously there was a lot of things happening around that time in terms of like symptoms. My periods were late. I was getting super tired. I felt super sleepy. Yeah, and my body was just feeling weird, And then week 1, week 2, I'm just like, what's wrong? But then there was this particular week, insane. I was missing hours at work because I chose sleep over work. So it was just a crazy time, Yani. It was just weird. After the last week of feeling this whole tiredness and this and that, I was like, nah, I need to do something. I need to figure out what's happening. So that Friday, I did the test. And it came out positive. It is like one line and then the second line, but then the second line is a bit not so clear. I was like, is this a line? Is this not a line? I was not sure. I did a second test and I was like, yeah, there's definitely a second line, yeah. So I just sat with it for some few minutes and then I called my soul sister and I was like, girl, look at this. Can you see 2 lines or 1 line? And she's like, that's definitely 2 lines. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Because in as much as I had seen the 2 lines, I was still in denial. I was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And she's like, you know what? Well, let's go make sure. Let's go do a blood test and make sure. And it's like, bet, let's do that tomorrow. So that next day, which is on a Saturday, went to work. After work, yeah, okay. Went to work. After work, met up with my soul sister, and we decided to go for the blood test. That was an uh-huh. Yeah. Were you there? He Okay, he's getting agitated. Just a moment. You lot, my dedication to making this video is absolutely insane. I'm literally breastfeeding right now. Oh wow. So where was I? I went for the blood test, which obviously came out positive. And me and my soul sister just sat there, stared at each other, and cried. Cry me a river, huh? Cry me a river. I promise you, we cried for a hot minute. We talked about it. It was a very emotional moment. But of course, for a lot of reasons, you're about to be a mom. Oh my God, you're pregnant. How is it going to be? What are you going to do? Lots of uncertainties around that. Lots of uncertainties in life generally. What does this mean? It was just a lot. There's a lot going on. But we sat through it. We cried. We talked. And then we got out of there. That's when the journey officially began. Eventually, I did share the information, of course, with his dad, with my mom, with my siblings, with my aunties, all the people who needed to know. I informed them eventually with time. And for the most part, though, I didn't tell a lot of people. I didn't tell a lot of people, but the people who needed to know definitely did know. And then yes, I just cracked on. The support system was there. People kept on checking on me, seeing if I'm doing okay, the whole shebang. First trimester wasn't really the best. I'll be honest with you. I think it's also because I wasn't mentally okay. I was just, the whole uncertainty thing. I was just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I don't know why. I was panicking so much. That was also around the same time grief was really hitting me for whatever reason. The fact that my dad is absent was just killing me at that time. And I couldn't imagine having a baby and my dad not being there to witness it and to be a part of my baby's life. It was just first trimester was really, really hard. Really, really hard. Plus I guess hormones are hormoning. So it's not really something you can even control. But eventually, alhamdulillah, as we went into the second trimester, way down into the second trimester, I started feeling way better. Look at him staring at his mama. I Yeah. Just put the baby down. By the way, I did ask you guys to ask me any and all the questions around this particular topic, and you guys did. And one of the questions was actually, how was first trimester? And this is exactly how it was. It wasn't really the best time. As I was saying, at some point in the second trimester, I did get better. I did start feeling better. And my loved ones, especially my sister, was always telling me not to cry, it's affecting the baby, not to be super sad, da, 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 da. It's not like I had control over it. But alhamdulillah, eventually I was able to, hold myself from time to time when I literally want to wail and scream for whatever reason. There was obviously a lot of things happening at that time, but let's blame the hormones as well. That one was one of the major things. My body was just going through something it's never gone through before, and I didn't know what to do about it, and I didn't know how to act, and I didn't know what it was. One small thing and I'm sobbing and I'm crying and I'm wailing, and the next minute I'm calm. But for the most part, I was really, really, really always upset, which is troubling. But alhamdulillah, as I said, again, it did get better. So yeah, first trimester was everything people say it is, and then some. But I didn't have a lot of morning sickness at that time. Granted, morning sickness did come, but later on it continued progressing, and actually had it till the very end, which was absolutely insane. So second trimester, as I said, emotionally, mentally, I started feeling better. I started being and feeling in touch with my baby. I started talking to him more. I started, just being in touch and being like, oh shoot, there is something growing in you. And I started showing a bit as well. So I guess that also helped me be like, oh yeah, there is something in here. Um, Second trimester was calm. It was really nice. Third trimester, this is when even the morning sickness was just over the roof. My heartburn was over the roof. Everything was all over the place. Someone asked me, by the way, how the third trimester was. I'm surprised. No one asks about the second, but I understand why. First and third is where things go crazy. But yeah, third trimester, heartburn every single day, every single night. I suffered from major insomnia on my third trimester, especially the last 2 months. I could not sleep. And then even when I was in bed, I couldn't lay down because of my heartburn, my acidity. So I was sleeping upright. Like I just used to put like thousands of pillows and just sit like this. It was a crazy, crazy time. I don't even know how I was showing up in the world, but to be honest, I really wasn't. I was just in my own little bubble, going through whatever I was going through. But alhamdulillah for the support system, for the people around me, for my loved ones, for their du'as, for their support, for their advice. It's so good to talk to someone who has been through this, even if it was like ages ago, whatever. It's like they tell you, okay, this is normal, don't worry, da 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 da, because there's a lot of things that go around your head and inside your head that can make you, like go cuckoos, and we don't want that. So it's always good to, have that. And if you don't have that support system, honestly speaking, this is exactly why I'm having these conversations, just so that if there's someone going through something that they're like, is this normal? Is this not normal? I am here to tell you it is normal. Most of the things you're going to feel at that stage, at that point, they are very, very normal. It's nothing to worry about. And it will get better. That's another very important point I have to say. It does get better. Someone asked if there was any cravings, anything that I really, really liked. And there was moments, yeah. First and second trimester, I was obsessed with oranges. I had oranges every single day. I used to eat an orange every single day. Even the third trimester, to be honest, but not so much like the first and second trimester. I was obsessed with oranges. I was obsessed with grapes. I think I was in love with fruits. And then there was a moment there at the first trimester where I was obsessed with bajia. So there's this spot near our home where they sell like really, really good bajia. But at that time, I felt like they were like way better than they are right now. Right now, I'm just like, yeah, they're great, but like not all that. But in my first trimester, I was eating bajia non-stop. Like I could not stop. I could not stop. Like if you wanted to stop me from crying or being upset or just whatever, or I'm hungry, then bring me the bajia and we're gonna be besties. It was that bad. But yeah, I remember just eating loads of bajias and loads of oranges. And then at some point, I actually did a HB test, which is basically like seeing my blood count. And I was told the blood is really, really low. So I locked in on vegetables. I had a lot of it. Oh my God, had a lot of vegetables because they kept on telling me if your blood count is still low at the time of delivery, is going to cause problems. Da da da. Yeah, he definitely brought fear in me, and I was like, yeah, I'm locked in. I hear you. Because initially they were like, eat vegetables, da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, sure, I will eat, and I do eat here and there. But then the moment I had my blood is low and it's going to cause problems, I locked in. I'm telling you, from that day, I ate vegetables every single morning. Every single morning. And then towards the end, I think I was just like kind of done because they checked my blood again like 2-3 times after that, and it was good. So I was like, you know what, the vegetables have done what they needed to do. Alhamdulillah, my blood count is good, I'm ready to go. But like for a couple of months actually, veggies every single day. But yeah, which question did I get around pregnancy? Let me see. Crazy weird cravings. Nothing crazy though, but I was eating the stones. I guess that's not weird. Most people do eat those, stones. So yeah. What else around pregnancy? Someone asked, what's the gender and are you going for CS or normal? I did not find out about the gender of my baby up until he popped out of me. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. I was like, whatever Allah blesses me with is what I'm going to have and what I'm going to love. And Alhamdulillah, I got my cute, cute little baby boy. And I found out that day. CS or normal, of course, from the get go, I wanted normal delivery. Granted, I was open. If it needed to happen, it needed to happen. There's nothing I could have done. Every single day, I prayed for a normal delivery. And Alhamdulillah, that's exactly what I got. Unmedicated, normal, nothing crazy happening kind of delivery. Alhamdulillah. Around pregnancy, someone asked, were you scared of the delivery process? I wasn't. I wasn't. I don't even know why. I genuinely was not scared. Like people kept on telling me, "Ooh, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild." And I know. It's painful. It's all this, but I wasn't scared. I was just like, "This is the process. This is exactly how we get to the other side." So I'm here for it. You know. I think I was just a bit scared when my water broke. We'll get there. Yeah. Around pregnancy, labor experience. We'll get there. Healing. Someone asked, describe your journey. Well, this is the journey. And I can't think of any other major thing that I have to mention. Ooh, emotions being all over the place. I think I did mention that, especially in the first trimester. Yeah, that was crazy. But I enjoyed the ultrasounds. I enjoyed every single kick and just feeling the baby inside you, them moving around, this, that. That was really, really special. Like, mothers don't talk enough about feeling their babies inside of them. Like, that was always an incredible feeling. I never got tired of it. And I kind of miss it, if I'm being honest. I also very much enjoyed shopping for the baby. Like towards the end of the second trimester, I started shopping for the baby, buying those little onesies, buying the little socks, like every single thing. Every single time I went and got something for the baby, I was just so, so happy and so, so elated. Like I still am, to be honest. You know how they tell you at the third trimester, you are going to give birth any minute from 37, 38 weeks. I was like, ooh, the time's coming, time's coming, time's coming. It's so crazy because when it hit 38, I was sure a baby was going to come in at 38 for whatever reason. I was just like, this baby is already cooked. This baby's coming out this week. I was so, so sure. And I remember there was a Friday. I'm surprised most things happened on Fridays. I found out on a Friday, this particular Friday story. My water broke on a Friday, crazy. But yeah, this particular Friday on that 38th week, I felt a lot that night. I was tossing and turning, like I felt the baby like moving and moving and moving. I am pretty sure that was the turning point of my pregnancy. That assured me things have started moving. Wrap it up, pack everything. My bag was packed somewhat, but after that Friday, I was like, yeah, this baby's coming. This baby is coming. So 38 weeks, this baby is coming. And I remember the next day, I did most of the things that I needed to do because I was like, it's probably going to happen this weekend, like latest kind of thing. It's crazy. It happened 3 weeks later. But anyways, it was calm. I did everything. I was like, the baby is coming, guys. The baby is coming. And everyone was like, yeah. But I was like, nah, the baby is coming. You guys don't understand what I felt that day. I still remember that Friday very, very well because I was like, no, things are happening inside. Things are happening. And I can't say the baby was turning or anything because the baby said it was already done and all that. We knew that at week 36, everything was, ready. I don't know what was happening inside, but something was happening. Another thing I have to mention is I did a lot of exercises and my exercise was pretty much walking. So I walked a lot throughout my pregnancy, but especially at the second and third, like towards the last few weeks, I walked a lot. I did a lot of stretches. Every single night I was here on this carpet doing stretches and trying to open my pelvis and stuff. Like everything they tell us to do, I was doing because I really wanted a smooth birth. Granted, sometimes, of course, not even sometimes, it's not in our hands, but I wanted to do every single thing I possibly could to make it easier for me during the D-Day. Yeah, up and down, up until the last day. Literally, I did a lot of movement, and Alhamdulillah, I was able to understand that not everyone can do that. Not everyone has the strength to move like that when they're pregnant, especially heavily pregnant towards the end. And I also thank God that my pregnancy, my bump was not so big. Like it wasn't, it wasn't making it hard for me to do normal daily things. Alhamdulillah, I found God. Like, even though I was stressed, I was this, I was that, there's heartburn like crazy, there was insomnia, moodiness, and just feeling like my emotions are all over the place and I want to flip and I want to scream. To be honest, amidst all that, I still generally do believe I had a somewhat very, very easy a pregnancy journey. It was nothing crazy, I was never rushed to the hospital. I was never like, there was nothing crazy that happened. And alhamdulillah, I really, really thank God for that to this day, and I forever do, because I can understand, and I have heard and I have seen people who really, really go through it when they're pregnant, and I wasn't part of that crew. So it's a blessing, really, alhamdulillah. Another major thing that I have to mention is around my insomniac times. I was listening to a lot of Quran, a lot of Quran. Surah Al-Maryam was one of the on repeat surahs every single night. My sister-in-law was like, you listen to this surah, it will really give you strength, it will really help you out. And I believe it did. I believe it did. I believe Quran helped me. I believe prayers helped me. All the du'as from myself and from my loved ones really, really helped the whole process. Because let's be honest, all of this would not have been possible without Allah. Without Allah, I wouldn't be even sat here giving this whole life story. So alhamdulillah, I'm really, really beyond grateful. I can't put in words. Like, everything was just excellent. If you have any more questions around pregnancy, something that I haven't thought of mentioning, do make sure you ask me in the comment section. If you're pregnant, if you know someone who's pregnant and they're going through something and you have a question around that, or just my experience is something you want to know about my pregnancy journey that I haven't mentioned, just ask me in the comment section. I will be sure to answer you. I read all my comments. I heart all my comments. I love seeing your comments to me. So just leave the questions down there and I'll definitely answer. The next big part of this video, of course, is the delivery and the birth story. Basically, it was one beautiful Jum'ah. Woke up feeling great. I'm telling you, I need to say this. I don't know why I didn't say this, but I need to say this. The last few weeks, or rather like third trimester, I was locked in with my pregnancy. I was feeling so, so good, so, so positive, so, so in alignment. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So this Friday, I was feeling peachy. I was completely great. And I had no idea what was going to happen that day, But let me backtrack a bit. Remember when I said I knew things were going to happen at the 38th week and nothing did? And baby came 3 weeks later. So this Friday I'm talking about, when my waters broke, was actually week 41. So when it got to week 41, I went to the doctors. I was like, guys, my EDD was this day. EDD is basically estimated delivery date. So my EDD was 4 days prior to when I went to the doctors. I said, my EDD was this day, but baby has not come. Wagwan. And they're like, how are you feeling? Is everything okay? I was like, I'm great. I'm fantastic. I don't know if they did. No, they didn't do any tests. They checked me. They're like, okay, everything seems okay. Baby's still cooking, I guess. And I was like, yeah, baby's still cooking. But they were like, towards the end of this 41st week, if baby has not come by the weekend, we need to induce you, because the more you stay, the more it gets dangerous for you and the baby. And I was like, oh, okay, locked in. I hear you. So from that day, I was on mission, get this baby out. So more stretches, more walking, more every single thing I could possibly do. And I remember that Thursday, my niece was around. So my niece and I stepped out, went for a walk, a very long one, by the way. This was the longest walk I had done, especially towards the end, because I was feeling heavy and sometimes too tired to even be bothered to walk for more than 20 minutes. But this day I was locked in. I even remember jogging at some point, like jogging up and down, like there was like a small hill, Kochini, just around home. But yeah, I was doing the most. I came back home. I probably did some stretches, I guess. Yeah, I did some stretches. I danced. I was like, this baby's coming out tonight. Every single night that week, actually, I was like, it's tonight, guys. I cannot do this anymore. And I genuinely did not want to get to the weekend because, everybody says when you get induced, it's the most painful experience. Labor is painful anyways. Just imagine them inducing the pain. It's like times 10. or whatever times they say it is. So I was like, Ya Rab, I do not want to get induced. And alhamdulillah, I did not get induced. That Thursday I did the most. Went to sleep. I was like, the baby's probably going to come. But I was saying that pretty much every single day since week 38. So it was just one of those nights. So I just slept, woke up. I was super, super starving that morning for whatever reason. And I was like, yeah, I've got to eat. I'm starving. So I told my niece, like, I want some eggs. I want some eggs. I want some eggs. I had an egg. I was like, this is not enough. I want another egg. So she was going to go make an egg. And I was passing through the kitchen. I don't know where I was going because I wasn't making nothing. But as I was walking, I think I was walking to go eat. Yeah. So as I was walking, I felt like a gush. I felt wet. And I stood like this and I peeped and I'm like, I think my water just broke. So I was wearing a dirham. So I held my dirham up and, my legs were a bit apart and I was staring down. I was like, yeah, I think my water's broke. So I just stood there. I stood there for what felt like forever because I was there for a hot minute. I was just like, and then my cousin was passing. She's like, wow, what's wrong? Why you stood there? And I'm just like, I just looked at her and looked down. And then she was like, what is she on about? And then she stared down and then she's like, oh, is that what I think it is? And I'm like, I think that's what we think it is. I don't know. I've never experienced this, but I think this is it. And she's like, oh my God, this is it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. So we just stood there. We actually stood there for a hot minute. Again, I stood there for a hot minute alone. And then I stood there for a hot minute with my niece. It was the funniest thing. And then she's like, locked in. Yeah, let's go. Where's the bag? Where's this? I'm like, relax. What's wrong? Let's see first, I'm still chill because I'm like, I'm not in pain. I'm not feeling anything. I'm good, I'm like, relax. Go make me my eggs. I need to have my breakfast. And she's like, oh, girl, you're crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to have a normal last breakfast. Just do that for me, please. She went and made me breakfast. Such a sweetheart. She made that for me. I went upstairs. I think I had a shower, yeah? I went upstairs. I had a shower. And here and there, the water was still trickling down on me. So as soon as I had a shower, I wore one of these diaper pants. And I was like, yeah, it's happening. I'm going to have this diaper pant on me. And I'm going to sit, have my breakfast, chill for a bit, talk to my mommy, and just have a normal morning. One last normal morning. So I did that. That's exactly what I did, honestly speaking. Came back down, had my breakfast, talked to my mother, And then I decided, you know what? Let me tell her. She has no idea, So I told her, by the way, I believe my waters are broke. I'm wearing this adult diaper. Nothing crazy, but I'm going to be leaving soon and just go see Wagwan because I'm not in pain. I'm feeling good. Everything's peachy. And she's like, okay. And my niece is like, let's go. Girl, you've got to relax. To be honest, at that moment, I was so relaxed. I think I was so happy and so excited to, finally be meeting my baby. I was like, okay, I guess it's happening, So my niece, she did the most. She took the bags and everything, which I had packed, by the way. Did I mention? I started packing at week 36, seriously, yeah? Seriously, week 36, 37, 38. So I was like packing and unpacking, changing things up, but like from 38, 39 weeks, I was locked in. The bag was ready to go. So we just took that bag, everything we needed, and we went to the hospital. So we got there. And by the way, I thank God for the hospital I went to as well, because I was deciding, I had two options in mind for the hospital that I was going to go. One was that I was going for clinics every single week or every other week. And the second one was where like most of my cousins have given birth at. So I was like, these two are probably where I'm going to go. By the way, didn't go to either. I decided last week or two I wasn't going to go there. I didn't choose a whole different hospital, which I'm glad I did because, I don't know, things just aligned. So we went there. They checked me. They're like, how are you just chilling? You're 4 centimeters dilated. And I'm like, huh? 4 centimeters? Am I not supposed to be in pain? And they're like, you're not feeling anything? I'm like, I'm great. So they were like, okay, just sit, bounce on this ball, If I can find the pictures and videos, I'll definitely insert them through this part of the story. But yeah, I was bouncing on the ball, I was doing the most. They were like, we're going to check you after every 4 hours up until you're fully dilated, which is 10 centimeters. And like, great. This is around 4 p.m. at this point, by the way. So 4 hours later was going to be 8 p.m. So I was just chilling, having a chat, snacking here and there, talking, just I was deep in stories. Like, mother called me, hey, Wago, everything. I'm like, I'm great. I'm feeling great. I don't know what these people talk about. It's not painful at all. I'm like, I'm good. I'm fantastic. Let me tell you, they checked me again at 8 p.m. and I was at six centimeters, and they were like, I don't know if they felt like I wasn't progressing fast enough or what they thought. I can't remember that part, but I remember them saying, we're gonna do like a bit of a membrane sweep just to help the contractions to start coming like proper because they had started coming but they weren't as intense and they weren't opening me up as fast. So they were like, we're going to try induced labor bit. So she did the membrane sweep, which was so uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. Anyway, she did that and then she left and I was like, ugh, that was not great. But from there on, I don't know what she did to me, but the pain came like no man's business. The contractions were contracting. Yeah, the contractions were contracting. I was feeling pain. I was like, I couldn't talk much, but I was talking in between. But I couldn't talk as much as I was like an hour ago. So yeah, the contractions kept on progressing. So after 4 hours from 8 was 12 a.m. They checked me at 12 a.m. again, and they were like, interesting. You are at 6.5 or 7. And I was like, what? You mean to tell me I haven't progressed much from that time with the pain I've been feeling? And they're like, yeah, not yet at all. And I'm like, I think my heart broke a little at that moment because the pain was paining. From 8 p.m., I was in pain. So they were like, yeah, if it continues like this, we're going to have to induce you, use a bit of oxytocin on you. They're going to help induce the contractions. Like, you open up with each contraction. So basically, they were like, I think your contractions are not doing what they need to be doing. So we need to, put some oxytocin on you. You are progressing, but not as fast as we need you to. So we're going to check on you. And if you still don't progress, we're going to induce those contractions. I felt more pain from 12 a.m. It was also a very sad pain because I was like, I don't want it to get to 4 a.m. and they check me and I'm still at 7 or 8. Like, what the hell? This is too painful. They like did something when they checked me as well. So this definitely helped, but also did some things because like from midnight, I felt like my heart was like being ripped out with each contraction. And I'm not even exaggerating. It was so painful. It was so painful. I'm telling you. So my soul sister was there. Baby's dad was there. My niece was there, and they were just looking at me like, "Girl, you seem like you're in pain," and I was. I was in so much pain. I think from 12 to 4, actually, I couldn't talk much. I genuinely could not talk even in between because like there wasn't even like a long in between the contractions. It felt like it was like coming and coming and coming and coming, but there was a break. I did the whole breathing through all the contractions, and then 3 a.m. came. Let me tell you, when they say when it's almost time, the contractions come back to back, and you get like 2 seconds to breathe. There's no 2 seconds. There is no 2 seconds. It felt like I was about to die, and I kept on ringing that emergency thing like that. I kept on calling them. I was like, guys, I think the baby's coming. Midwife was like, nah, the baby's still not coming. When the baby's coming, we will know the baby's coming. You will know the baby's coming. And I'm like, what? It's gonna be worse than this. It's not gonna. What? I already know. I thought I knew everything. I was like, nah, it's right now. And they're like, nah, it's not right now. And I'm like, why are they taking this so lightly? I feel like it's right now. I'm telling you, that last hour, like 3 to 4 a.m., I was in so much pain. I'm laughing right now, but it wasn't funny. It was not funny at all. So yeah, tried to walk, couldn't walk. Tried to bounce on the ball, couldn't do it. And there was a point I went down on all fours. It was that bad. Yeah, I'm telling you, one of the longest nights of my life. Anyways, so we did that. It got to 4. I think that they came back in at 4 or 5 or something, and they were like, okay, let's check you. They checked me. I think it was like 9.5, something like that. And then they were like, yeah, let's go to the delivery room now, start. And I'm like, okay, it's happening finally, but what the hell? It's like, excitement and anxiety and like everything all at once. I felt it all, but I was so happy. Like I was like, yeah, the time has arrived. It's crazy, it's painful, it's all these things, but it is time to meet my baby. And that's the best thing, to be honest. That's what kept me going throughout the night, actually, and throughout the pregnancy and throughout everything. And it was like, yeah, it's time. So I went in, locked in. So they're like, in each contraction, you push, and I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. So I went in with baby's dad, and the midwife and the nurse were there as well. And they were like, let's do this, let's do this. I'm telling you, went inside the delivery room at 4:15, 4:20, started pushing almost right away. And let me tell you, I think I pushed for like 10 minutes because 4:39 a.m. a baby popped out. Like baby popped out. Baby popped out. I was so elated. I was so happy. I don't even know how I did that. But alhamdulillah, 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 like it is God's grace. Because with every push, they kept on telling me, yeah, you're doing a great job. Thank God for those people. Those people who were in the room with me, alhamdulillah for you, because you did a great job. I did a great job, but you lot did a great job, motivating me and stuff. Here, like the baby's head, we can see the baby's head. Keep pushing, and the baby's head popped out. And keep pushing. And then I remember like the last one, they're like, this is it. This is the last one. This is the last one. And like it happened. When they said this is the last one, it was the last one, because when I felt the contraction, I just pushed. Like I was like, this is it now. And it was it, alhamdulillah. That birthing experience was not even as crazy as the labor process. The labor was intense. When I tell you labor was intense, I think even how I'm saying it, I'm watering it down so much. I guess I just don't want to scare anyone who is pregnant or, wants to get a baby, have a baby one day. I don't want to scare you, but labor is not easy. But it's rewarding. It's rewarding. It's the only pain that has a purpose. So just lean into that. Believe in that, because it is so true. It is a rewarding pain. You're gonna scream, but you're gonna meet your baby. So it's okay. A win is a win. Yeah. All in all, I will say this: labor is crazy. Labor is crazy, but nothing beats that feeling when a baby pops out and you finally hear him cry. And they're like, it's a boy. And I'm like, oh my God. The funny thing is, I feel like I was crying, but there was no tears. And then I laughed. I remember laughing from my stomach. Like I laughed so hard for a whole minute. Like I was laughing. Like I was like, oh my God. It's like a relief. It's like, I am so grateful. I'm so happy. Like it was such an incredible moment. Alhamdulillah. And they placed baby on me. And I was just like, you feel all sorts. I'm telling you, in that moment, you feel all sorts. And every single thing after that doesn't matter, because I had a first degree tear. So they had to stitch me up, do this, remove the placenta, the whole shebang. I'm telling you, that whole other process took a minute, but I didn't care. Like the baby was here, and that's all that mattered. I'd like, finish what you're doing. I need to spend time with my baby. After they finish, you go and take a shower. That is one of the longest showers that I have ever taken. I don't know if it felt long or it was actually long. I'm not entirely sure, because I don't know how many minutes I was in there for, but I do believe I did take a while, because they kept on calling me and ushering me back in. This is like, get out, you need to come out, because as soon as the baby pops out, you get into the shower and then you come to your baby. Your baby needs you. Your baby needs to breastfeed. So yeah, you've got work to do. You think the whole night of you being in pain and being in labor, and then you're going to deliver and giving birth, and that's it. The work starts now. After you deliver is when the work starts, because now they have to make sure that the baby can latch well, and you're doing a good job holding the baby right. You have to check if milk is actually coming out. So they like pinch you, or they tell you to pinch, so they see if like milk will actually start coming out. And alhamdulillah, it came out immediately. I had milk baby lashed properly. I learned immediately how to hold him, like everything was just fantastic. So yeah, after that shower, I was locked into motherhood like no man's business. Alhamdulillah. My baby and I were just like this since that time, since that moment. We're just inseparable and we can't get enough of each other and we're just obsessed with each other. Absolutely love this little nugget. But yeah, that is a snippet of my leave and delivery. Great times. Great times. You know? Yeah. Next and last big part of this video is postpartum, which is what we're in right now. Postpartum has been great. In a nutshell, postpartum has been great. I take it week by week, day by day, moment by moment, to be honest. Week 1 and 2, I feel like I was all over the place. Baby was also all over the place. This is his first time on earth. This is my first time as a mom and his mom, to be specific. So we were all, it's our first time. So we were just like winging it. But the first 2 weeks, I'd say, were also all over the place in terms of his sleep schedule. We're not 100% there yet, but it's way better. So he was waking, let's say, every hour and a half, every hour. He was up, needing a feed. Sometimes he'll cry a bit. Like, I don't know if he's hungry. I don't know if he needs a change. I don't know, this, that. But eventually, slowly, I got the hang of it. Taking loads of tea, loads of uji, like porridge, taking loads of soup. Like, I was and still am doing the most of we don't lack breast milk. Alhamdulillah, that has not been a problem, not even once. I mean, 2 months of breastfeeding is not something I take lightly. This was always my dream. This was always exactly what I wanted. And alhamdulillah, I get to sit here and say, yeah, I am breastfeeding my baby exclusively. No problems there. He's latching like a pro at this point. Actually, from minute 1, he was latching like a pro. So alhamdulillah, I have not had any issues there. The cord fell off, his skin peeled, his first skin peeled. He had so much hair. If you peeked my previous video, you saw that baby had hair, so we cut his first stomach hair. His hair is growing so fast because let me tell you, we cut it like just some weeks ago, and his hair is like, he has a full head of hair. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Allahumma barik. We've gone for 2 clinics thus far, and I remember his 6th week clinic. The doctors were like, make sure you're only breastfeeding him because alhamdulillah, MashaAllah, he is growing so well. He's put on, his little weights. Yeah. Everything's peachy. Questions around postpartum, actually. Someone asked me, how are you doing really? I will say this, going through pregnancy, going through childbirth, whether you have a normal unmedicated birth like me, whether it's CS, whether whatever it is, I'm telling you, women, we do not talk about this enough. We don't. This will be a hot topic for me for a while, if not forever. Honestly speaking, I will forever talk about childbirth. I will forever talk about having a baby in pregnancy because this is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Mentally, right now, alhamdulillah, I am doing great. Physically, I feel good as well. Someone asked me how my healing journey is going, and alhamdulillah, my healing experience has been great. As I mentioned, I had first-degree tear. It has healed. They were like, those dissolvable, what's it called? Yeah, it was one of those dissolvable ones, so it dissolved well into the skin. Everything's peachy. Wallah, alhamdulillah. I feel healed. I feel 100% healed. Of course, I know even internally it takes time. Initially you feel like you can do everything. I feel like I can do everything, but I also know I need to take it easy. But I also know I am way better than I was like week 1, week 2 kind of thing, So alhamdulillah, I'm good. Emotionally, a tad bit better. I still cry every single day. I mentioned how I cry about everything once every 2 hours in my previous video, and that's still very much the case, but not once every 2 hours. Now we have progressed to once every 4-5 hours. Now I'm joking, but I genuinely still am very emotional for whatever reason. Hormones, I guess, and also just, sometimes you have mom guilt. Sometimes I'm like, am I doing a good job? Why? Why? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? But I do believe it's also very, very normal because I'm a very self-aware person. So I know everything is okay and everything is good. But I can't help it. I can't help but cry sometimes. So I guess it is very normal, you know? So if you're going through anything like this, feeling emotions, this, that, trust me, it's all good. And it does get better. I'm telling you. You know, I'm not crying every 2 hours anymore. So it definitely does get better. I would also like to mention this in terms of like how I'm doing spiritually. Alhamdulillah, I'm great. Listening to Quran, doing everything I can. I'll soon do my ghusl and, you know, get back to prayers and stuff. I cannot wait. I'm super, super excited to just, you know, be in tune with that. Cannot wait to officially start praying and just be able to do more ibadah. Yeah, I also need to mention how I'm doing financially, which, to be honest, I've had a bit of a hit. I'm used to working, I'm used to, you know, having my own money and just doing my own things, and I have had to pause. um I mentioned this in the last video of 2025 that I had to, you know, pause on my job or quit. And now you lot know the reason. You know, I was leading up towards the end of my pregnancy and I just couldn't. I was tired, I was emotional, I just couldn't do it. So I had to take a pause. So financially I am really like, I'm not struggling, but I feel like, you know, I'm not where I also need to be. Alhamdulillah, as I said, I'm healing well, I'm doing great. I'll soon start trying to figure out a proper good source of income, inshallah, because we need that cash, we need that money, especially now that I have a whole baby who depends on me. Of course, and his dad as well, but like, I want to be that mommy who mommy's got me, you know, and that's like through and through, emotionally, mentally, physically, and of course financially as well. You know, it's good to be a woman with your own money, trust me. Financially I'm a bit not the best, but I'm also really, really living into tawakkul, and that's exactly what I even mentioned in my last video of 2025. Like, I believe everything is working the way it's supposed to be. The best of planners is in control. My life's direction, where I'm headed from here, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. He already knows. He already knows. And so I'm not going to sit here and stress myself about it. Everything is in alignment and will continuously be in alignment, alhamdulillah. Around the postpartum, someone also asked, what's your routine like? Are you sleep training? And my routine leading up to the second month, finishing the second month actually, I feel like it's getting better. At first, my routine was all over the place, all over the place, because you don't know when baby wants to nap, when baby will nap, what's happening, what's not happening. Like, everything's just all over the place. But now we're at a place where we know we can gauge. But generally speaking, the routines and, you know, have always been just following his cues, even like when he wants to nap, when he's gonna sleep, when he wants to feed, when he's gonna feed. Before baby came, I thought, you know, I needed to be locked in, check the time every 2-3 hours, make sure he's feeding, da da da. But I never did that, to be honest, from day one. Plus, he has been feeding according to that time, anyways. Right now, as he's getting older, the duration in between feeds is also a bit long. But alhamdulillah, I'm just following his cues. When he needs to eat is when he eats. When he needs to sleep is when he sleeps or naps. So yeah, and the routines are getting more, what's the word? More and more predictable at this stage right now. So alhamdulillah for that. As I told you, I'm telling you once again, every single thing does get better with time. Every single thing, through our pregnancy, through our labor, through our delivery, even right now in postpartum. Even the things I'm worried about, even the things I'm like, oh my god, will this end? Will this be okay? Will this da, da, da? I know deep down it will be. I know that for sure. So that's always a good thing to keep in mind, and just always remember everything is working out and will work out the way it's supposed to. Babies are unpredictable. One day they nap all day, the next day they don't want to nap at all. One day they have a lot of hiccups, the next day they don't have hiccups at all. One day they're using I don't know how many diapers, the next day they're not using as much diapers. I'm telling you, everything does seem and feel like it's all over the place, especially at first, but everything is working the way it's supposed to. Like, there is a lot of, oh, is this okay? Is this normal? Is this normal? Which I totally understand. Trust me, I am right there with you. But trust me, most of these things that we worry about, they're very, very normal. They're very, very okay. You know, alhamdulillah that I have like a couple of mothers who, you know, have been mothers before and have newborns now, or, you know, they're also just starting the journey, probably like a bit ahead of me, maybe like the kids are like 5 months old, like who are really, really guiding me as well and just assuring me as well. And I thank God for that. And I hope I'm able to do that for the people who, you know, who will have kids after me, because I want to be that big sister, assures and guides and advises, of course. And yeah, so if you genuinely know of anyone who is pregnant, who wants to be pregnant one day, who has a newborn right now, let them subscribe to this channel, because we'll definitely have more of these conversations moving forward as well. Again, I will say this: anything that I have not mentioned throughout my pregnancy journey, throughout my labor and delivery journey, throughout my postpartum journey, any questions you have around that and around anything, you know, newborn, da 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 da, and even beyond that, honestly speaking, we talk about a lot of things in this channel. But in this particular topic, if you have any questions, do comment it down below and I will definitely answer it start as soon as possible. Also, you can DM me on Instagram. All my social media handles are always on the description box down below. So go check them out. If you don't follow me on Instagram, that's why I ask you guys, you know, to ask me questions for a specific or particular topic that I want to do. That's where, you know, we get to engage about, you know, the next video coming up, when the next video is dropping, this, that. So do make sure you follow me. If not on all social media platforms, make sure you follow me at least on Instagram. And of course, do subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for having time and just to sit down and listen to me yap. I appreciate you for, you know, listening to my journey and subscribing and liking and supporting me. It really, really, really does mean a lot. See you a lot on my next episode, inshallah. Yeah, watch any kale. Let me go take care of my baby for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.